Once again, good morning, beautiful people, and a warm, warm welcome to the Women in Tech Summit 2025. A space for bold ideas, courageous stories, and a lot of, I think today is going to be one of those days where we all live inspired. All right. I am Andrina Kayuhwa, and I'm absolutely honored to be your Director of Ceremonies for today. Before we dive in, I thought we could just start with a little icebreaker. I'd like us to all take us memory lane where we first had to fix our computers and what was going through our minds. Now I'd like us to take a little minute to just think, what if we'd not panicked? What was going to happen then? We would have probably fixed it, right? With that in mind, I want us to have the spirit throughout the whole day. And just before we start our program, I'd like to have a few house rules. Please, if we can all just take a moment to put our phones on silent, on vibrate, not off, but just that it's silent. We will have a dedicated time to network and take pictures. And most importantly, I'd like us to engage, enjoy, and be fully present. If we go down the red carpet, there is a black pole in the middle. To our right is the bathrooms. So the men's are on the right and the ladies are on the left. I want us to really get ready to be inspired and inspire each other. To formally welcome and open the summit, I'd like for us all to welcome a lady that leads with passion and vision, our Managing Director for SALT IT, Mrs. Sonja Coetzer.
Good. Welcome to SALT's Women in Tech Summit 2025. Good morning. It's an honor to stand before you because I'm not standing behind you. Today, we gather to celebrate the second time that SALT hosts a Women in Tech event. And this is to celebrate the incredible achievements of women in tech and STEAM. Today's theme, where opportunity meets innovation, perfectly encapsulates the spirit of our event and the value we hold here at SALT. At SALT, we embrace the technology to change the status quo, enable and empower the people, and make a real impact in both professional and personal lives. Today we come together to celebrate the remarkable women who have paved the way for the future generations and to inspire each other to continue pushing the boundaries of innovation. As we embark on this journey, let's remember the words of Ada Lovelace, a true pioneer in the field of computing. That brain of mine is something more than merely mortal, as time will show. Ada's visionary work laid the foundation for modern computing, and her legacy continues to inspire us to dream big and innovate fearlessly. Innovation is not just about creating new technologies. It's about seizing opportunities and turning them into reality. As Grace Hopper, a trailblazer in computer and science, once said, the most dangerous phase in the language is, we have always done it this way. At SALT, we believe in challenging the norm and exploring new possibilities to drive progress and create meaningful change. Today, we also celebrate the achievements of women like Katherine Johnson, whose mathematical brilliance helped propel humanity into space. Her story reminds us that when opportunity meets innovation, the sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning. Katherine once said, we will always have STEM with us. Some things will drop out of the public eye and will go away, but there will always be science, engineering, and technology. And there will always be mathematics. In Namibia, we are proud to have trailblazers like Prof. Dr. Anicia Peters, a renowned computer scientist specializing in human-computer interaction. Prof. Peters has made significant contributions to the field through her research
on social computing, gender in digital technologies, gamification, and e-participation. Her work has not only advanced the field, but also inspired many young women to pursue careers in STEM. As we gather here today, let us be inspired by these trailblazers and the countless other women who have made significant contributions to technology and STEM. Let us embrace the opportunity before us and use innovation as a tool to create a better future for all. Thank you for being here and for your commitment to advancing women in technology. Together, we can continue to challenge the status quo, empower each other, and make a lasting impact on the world. Welcome to SAL's Women in Tech 2025 Summit, where opportunity meets innovation. Thank you. I also take this opportunity to introduce our first guest speaker of the day, a very dear friend and a true trailblazer, not just in technology, but representing Namibia in various AI and technology forums worldwide. Recently in Paris, France, not the one in the Vrystaat, Kigali, Rwanda, and she's revered as a leader, innovator, and contributor. So let's see. Prof? Right. Good morning, Prof, and welcome to Women in Tech 2025. We look forward to your keynote. We have a room full of beautiful ladies. We know you're on your way out, and we really appreciate you taking a moment to join us. Ladies, please welcome Prof. Dr. Anicia Peters.
Welcome to Women in Tech 2025. We look forward to your keynote. We have a room full of beautiful ladies. We know you're on your way out, and we really appreciate you taking a moment to join us. Ladies, please welcome Prof. Dr. Anicia Peters.
Good morning. I'm unfortunately unable to see the audience, so I can't see all of the beautiful people in the room. But I trust you're there. Oh, yes, I can see you now. Hi. So thank you so much to SALT for inviting me this morning. And yes, I did say that I'd love to be there in person, but I'm just sitting on the other side of the city currently. But I'm nonetheless delighted to speak to you. I want to start off this conversation a little bit with an introduction as to what NCRST does in Namibia, because I think that's the basis of all of the work that we do. And then I will go into AI initiatives in particular. So the NCRST was established by an Act of Parliament, number 23 of 2004, and that act is established to coordinate, promote, develop research, science, and technology. The act also includes innovation with that ambit. Within that act, it also provides for the establishment of the NCRST as a juristic person, so we're a public enterprise, and within that it assigns a number of functions to the NCRST. For instance, the president is the patron of the NCRST and the patron of research, science, and technology in Namibia. It also assigns what type of sensitive type of research that the NCRST has to conduct, or then cause to conduct, or coordinate and promote. It furthermore also specifies that we are responsible for infrastructure, for facilities, for the research, science, technology, and innovation ecosystem development within Namibia. And in fact, the functions is like rolling over 2 pages. Now, the functions that are assigned to the NCRST is in different countries, actually 6 distinct different organizations, but here we have just one. So I'll try to run through just some of them. One of the agencies that's established or bodies that's established within that act is also the National Research Fund. So I've seen that people on social media would sometimes write, Namibia doesn't have a National Research Fund. Namibia actually does. It's contained within that act, and it assigns the responsibility to administer that National Research Fund to NCRST. And this is why NCRST is actually funding research, science, technology, and innovation within the country. So then another function that is assigned explicitly in a different section of the Act is that NCRST has to determine the national research, science, technology, and innovation priorities for the country. And we do that through an instrument called the National Program on Research, Science, Technology, and Innovation. This defines the high-level priority areas. It also defines the funding instruments, and it defines basically the how to and where to and what we do. We are now finalizing that national program, the second one, for the country, because we had to pause it a bit to integrate the National Development Plan 6 priorities, because of course research, science, technology, and innovation has to support those priorities. It's interesting to note that within that program we have included AI both as an enabler for every single priority area that you have, whether you have food security, like for instance agriculture, whether you have water, whether you have energy, healthcare, climate change, you name it. AI is an enabler and a catalyst for all of those. But AI itself also needs to be developed within Namibia. And so we've included it as well as a specific focus area for the development thereof. And I will talk a little bit about how we intend to strengthen it and what is the current status in Namibia. NCRST, of course, as many of you might be aware, is also a regulator. So we have the regulatory function for research. If you want to set up a research institute tomorrow in Namibia, or you want to make research as part of your primary concern, and it is research for the advancement of knowledge, then you have to register with the NCRST, just like if you're setting up a private higher education institute, you have to register with the NCHE in Namibia and with NQA. So we're the regulator then for research. We're also the regulator for instance, genetically modified organisms. So if you have a farm or you want to work within agriculture, then, and you want to sort of, for instance, bring in GMOs, then you need a permit from the NCRST. And for that, we have a national GMO testing laboratory at our premises in Olympia as well. And that's how we do the regulation of GMOs. We're responsible for regulating biosafety and biotechnology within the country. So we are also known as the Biosafety Clearinghouse. And in fact, I was sitting in Kigali next to a gentleman, an entrepreneur who is looking at his company, looking at safety of AI systems. And he was sitting next to me. And when I said I was from Namibia, he said, okay, let's see what we have registered as a regulator that can regulate sort of safety of AI. And he opened up Namibia, and it says there, the Biosafety Clearinghouse. And I'm like, yo, that's us. But anyway, so that was quite interesting to see it from an outsider perspective. So the next one is also, and then of course, I'm sure that you are aware if there are external researchers, international researchers coming in, then they usually also go through NCRST for your research authorization, or if they want to undertake very sensitive research, they need to also make a stop by us. NCRST also has 3
national councils, because the Act is giving us the authority to establish a council in any area that we deem as a priority area, or a specific thematic area that the country needs to develop research in. So we have the National Biosafety Council that is implementing the Biosafety Act number 7 of 2006. We also have, under that, we are also actually implementing the National Bioeconomy Strategy for Namibia. Then we have the National Space Science Council. I can't see the room. I would have loved to, at least I can't see your hands. I would have loved to know who knows that we have the National Space Science Council. We also have a National Indigenous Knowledge Systems Council, and we are finalizing the National Indigenous Knowledge Policy for Namibia, because Indigenous knowledge, even in the age of AI, plays a very important role. Then I'll quickly run through that we are doing all of the national science fairs. You might have seen every year there's annual science fairs. We do the National Math Olympiad, and also we participate now as from 2025 internationally in the Mathematics Olympiads. We also run all of the Research Week, the National Research Symposium, the Science Week, the Mr. and Miss STEM pageant is also under the NCRST. And then, of course, we have the, we're responsible for information dissemination on research, science, and technology. So we have, for instance, the National R&D Survey, we have the National Innovation Survey, and we have the National Infrastructure Survey as part of that sort of set of data that we need to supply. So if you're looking for R&D data, for instance, internationally as well, and you feel that if you see the rankings, etc., that's actually NCRST's function to ensure that we provide these indexes with the data on Namibia. Now, we have a National Innovation Coordination function. And one of the big things on innovation is that since 2017, NCRST has facilitated and supported over 2,000 entrepreneurs. Majority of them are women. And the reason for that is because we've been running since 2017, we've been running the Namibia National Women in Women Innovation Challenge. And so many of the products that you see ourselves, those are actually women entrepreneurs that the NCRST had been supporting over the years. This year, however, we have retired the National Women in Innovation Challenge. Now only do the National Innovation Challenge, but we will still ensure that there's a 60% women participation, so that we still continue leveling the field for women entrepreneurs and women innovators. So with that, we have a program on the grassroots innovation programs where we go into different regions. And in fact, people can ask us, for instance, to go to a specific region and conduct some of our grassroots innovation programs there. We also have learners can innovate. And then we have a walk-in program. If you are an entrepreneur, I'm speaking to tech entrepreneurs, and you have a wonderful idea but need some support or you need mentorship or guidance, you can actually contact the NCRST because we have that walk program. And recently we've also launched the Scale Up Namibia with NIPDB, and Scale Up Namibia has a number of members and is a member as well, number of members where we have innovation hubs being members, we have investors, mentors, sort of people who know the business world, people who can make connections. So we have a whole ecosystem to support entrepreneurs. And because Scale Up Namibia is so new, we want to actually incubate it, or not incubate it, actually you incubate entrepreneurs, but what you do with startups is you accelerate it. So we actually want to also treat it as a startup, and then let it accelerate, let it be accelerated, which means that you give it maximum resources. And I think that the whole dream is also to have a walk-in type of facility, where if you have an idea but you don't have the machinery, if you have an idea but you don't have, somebody to build the AI models for you, then you can basically walk in. That's the whole idea. Then you can basically walk in and get all of the service in one place. Just staying with innovation. So NCRST is also the focal point for the Southern Africa Innovation Collective, which is called SAIC. And it consists out of connected innovation hubs from Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, Zambia, and Tanzania. And with all of these hubs, we are running the annual Boost Up pitch competition. And that Boost Up pitch competition is, although it's regional, it is focusing just on tech startups. So have a look out for that whenever you see the advertisement for Boost Up. I'm not sure I think they told me yesterday where it's going to take place this year, but last year it was in Botswana, because we tend to go to different countries who are part of our network. And then we have another interesting one, which is Pan-African. So it's the Africa Innovation Agencies Network, and NCRST is co-leading together with Kenya. We're co-leading the Africa Innovation Agencies Network, and with that we have a number of donors or funders. And NCRST is, our role in the network is to determine the priority areas and define the calls that will go out. And then innovators can apply, and they will then be funded through this program. We are expecting our first calls to come out in July. So interesting enough, the Innovation Agencies Network was launched in Kenya on the 27th of November, which was the day we had elections. And because we wanted to elect, I can't see the time.
It's up, Prof. Dr. Peters.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so because my time is up, let me wrap up with the last one that I was actually going to. And this is on technology. Except for biotechnology, we're also doing, of course, AI activities in Namibia. And we have a national AI working group established by NCRST. We've just concluded the AI readiness assessment under UNESCO. We had a validation workshop where SALT had also assisted us. And that report will be done by the end of this month. And it gives an overview over where is Namibia relative to all of the other countries. NCRST also gives out grants, specifically within AI. We've given out 7 grants last year in different areas with a focus specifically of integrating AI. And then we are also sort of planning a national AI institute together with that working group. And we are pursuing very specific AI sort of integration into newsrooms, like with New Era. We're also supporting a research into energy and into water. So there's a number of areas where we are working in AI. In terms of the continent, there was an AI talent index launched in Kigali at the Africa AI Action Summit in Kigali last week. and it listed Namibia actually as number 14 out of 54 countries. I think we need an applause for that. And then furthermore, on the African continent, there was also the Africa Declaration on AI launched with key focus areas for Africa. And then together with that, there's the AI Africa Council that consists out of ministers of ICT that's launched by Smart Africa and the AU. There's an AI scientific panel, and there's also a Pan-Africa Research Center. I've signed up for those two to sort of help shape those ones. There's also an Africa AI Fund that was launched. Now, to close off on this, we have Coursera. You know Coursera, right? Who's undertaken a Coursera course? I have several. The Coursera is listing Africa as having the most enrollments for online tech courses, specifically in AI. So with this, I want to tell you that the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs Report 2025 says we will have a net gain of 97 million jobs. So some jobs will be lost, yes, they will be, but there will be so many new jobs that there's actually a net gain and not so many job losses. But here's the problem. The future starts now. You have to prepare yourself and upskill now for the world of AI. And whether you have a business or whether you are an entrepreneur, you have to upskill yourself as well. Because we find that the youth already are doing it, like Coursera statistics are showing, but we find that executives, business decision makers, and decision makers in general, teachers, etc., they are the ones who will be left behind because they don't upskill themselves. So there are many opportunities that are existing at the NCRST. SALT is offering. There are other organizations within Namibia offering opportunities. Let's grab these opportunities and prepare ourselves for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Anicia Peters. Thank you for joining us. Have a safe trip, and I'll see you on the flip side when you return. We really appreciate you. We appreciate the work that you're doing for technology, and especially for women in technology. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you very much. Okay, bye.